What is up, bros? Josh here, and today's video is all about the currently work in progress Tier 9 French destroyer, the Mogador. Now, if you missed my video on the Tier 10 Kleber, I'll put a link down below. You can check that out. These are going to be very similar, both with playstyle and actually a lot of their stats. Again, the ship is work in progress, so stats are subject to change, and I imagine we're going to see some change altogether on both of these ships, but something to maybe set these ships apart. Yes, it's the Tier 9 compared to the Tier 10. Obviously, there's not going to be much difference, but a lot of these things are almost identical. There's not much that really sets them apart. Let's dive into the stats, and then we'll show some gameplay, but very, very similar to the Tier 10. Hit point wise, 20,000 on the higher end for this tier. Now, just to show you the commander, we're using the same commander as we did the last time, a very kind of aggro style play. Priority target, last stand, BFT, concealment. Now, I am taking concealment, and there's a lot of people playing it differently, and I like that there's a lot of different builds that are viable with this. I like the concealment build, and I'll show you why when we talk about the torpedoes. But there are people that are completely giving this up and going with AFT, switching out some modules, and then I'll show you what they pick there. We are giving up survivability expert, although we would grab some nice HP boosts here. I feel like I wanted to go a tad more towards the aggressive style, taking inertia fuse on these 130s as well as demo expert on this to offset the inertia fuse. We could obviously switch out demo for survivability expert if you wanted to, and then picking up adrenaline rush at the cherry on top. Now, I will compare it to the Kleber as well. We will bounce back and forth. So just to show you, on the Kleber, we're just basically taking BFT to keep the reload the same, as well as concealment. So there is no inertia fuse and other stuff. So when we're looking at values, just to keep that in mind. But the Mogador at tier 9 is going to have a decent health pool at 20,000. Definitely higher on this. I mean, comparing it to like the Fletcher, which is right about the same with survivability expert. Main battery though, 6.3 seconds, 29 millimeter on the pen. That's because we have inertia fuse, but 15.1. Now, if we switch over to the Kleber, 6.3 seconds, 15.7, so you get a little bit more range, and it's about the same, 139 millimeters and then 139 millimeters. These guns are basically identical. The fire chance is the same. Overall, if you like this gun and the trajectory and everything, you're going to like the tier 10 because there's not really that much that changed. So the guns on this ship are pretty nuts. Both the AP alpha damage is insane. You'll see that in the gameplay as well as just the ability to light fires. That's why we're taking that demo expert. Inertia fuse, I am taking it. It is a nice little buff, as you see the 22 millimeter HE pen without it, and then we get up to 29. It seems like we were doing more damage. I did play a couple games with some different builds, and we definitely were shattering more. I don't know if it's consistent, but we definitely did see more shatters when we didn't take it. Torpedo tubes. Now, this is one thing that will be set off a little bit. 4 sets of 3, so this is pretty nuts because there's 60-second reload. 6 on each side, 2 sets of 3 on each side, but 8-kilometer torpedoes, 75 knots. These are extremely fast and can be extremely deadly because of how quick they are. They almost feel like the torpedo beat boats. Now, these have a 60-second reload, and the Kleber has a 77-second reload. So a little bit slower, but overall, they're basically the same thing other than that, extremely fast. So that's a bit of a difference there. AA is pretty I know you're going to shoot down a couple planes. One of the things is it's pretty hard for CVs to kind of hit you because you're so quick. I definitely noticed that just kind of turning a little bit or slowing down, slamming on the brakes, all of that, you can dodge some decent stuff. I did try a full AA build. It was completely worthless because the AA range on the DD was only 3.8, so it was completely worthless. I was hoping to kind of make a weird kind of troll AA build. Did not work, so avoid that. Maneuverability 43.5, 730, and then 3.8. And then when you switch over, pretty dang close, a little bit faster, takes a little bit longer to turn, same rudder shift. Again, kind of identical. And with concealment expert and the concealment module, 6.3 on the Kleber, the Mogador has a 6.4. So a lot of the stats are the same. Torps are basically the same other than a small reload increase to the tier 10. Main battery, basically the same thing. Maneuverability, basically the same thing. AA, basically the same thing. There's not much difference here. And so that's one thing I kind of see as a flaw is you're going from the tier 9 to the tier 10 and not seeing much difference. Also, when we talked about concealment, 6.4 kilometers. I like this. It does make it viable to cap caps. Now, some people are avoiding all of the concealment stuff together, and they're at like a 7.7, 7.8 kilometer detection. Now, with those 8 kilometers, there's not much of a berth. With these, if I get extremely low with health, maybe I took a bigger salvo than I wanted to. Again, these ships don't take battleship AP or the heavy AP, so you don't have to worry about that. You're basically going to get overpenned. If I get pretty low, I can turn into a higher detectability, but not incredibly high torpedo boat. You can still use these, especially with a 60-second reload. Modules in this video will be, of course, we're running all premiums. I went with range instead. You can switch this out for AFT. I just like the other build. If you take AFT, you can't pick up other things like Demo Expert. I did take the range though. Some people were taking the main battery fire. That's what the people dropping concealment. They could pick up this and make some other stuff. I went with concealment. Some people were taking steering gears. I could see it being viable if you really want to play an open water farming gunboat. Steering gears here, aiming system, propulsion, and then main armament mod 1. Let's dive into some gameplay, show you kind of a funny situation that happened and how much this ship can have an influence on its mobility when it's needed to kind of come back in the game. So here we are in game with the Mogador, and obviously when we're playing these French DDs, currently they are work in progress, so everything is still subject to change, and I think we will see some changes when it comes to these ships because there's no real counter to it. I was trying to think, and obviously planes are, but planes are counter to everything. One thing I did notice, and you will see me versus a Donskoy later, that's about it because these ships are so fast. If anything is going to really kind of hit this ship, if it has any kind of arc, a Des Moines or something like that, you can basically beat them outside of 13, 14 kilometers because you're just going to have the rate of fire and all that kind of damage going out. There was a game where I went against basically a Worcester, and he just couldn't hit me because my speed was too fast, my reload was too good, and his arc was just too much. However, going against stuff like a Donskoy, a Moskva, Zao, things like that, definitely can still ping this. Obviously, it's kind of more surprising with the speed, something that's not quite people aren't used to. But so it's going to take a little while for people to get used to it. It's just so quick, but that's about it. That's why I feel like it's still a little early for this ship to kind of like, okay, it's not, there's no reason this is finalized because you don't really have what seems like to be a counter, except obviously planes. I mean, that's definitely going to be a thing. And so it is kind of funny. You'll see something from the CV here. Now, one of the things too I like about the concealment on these DDs is you do have the ability to hit caps early. Normally, if I'm in a destroyer, the biggest comparison is the Russian destroyers, Udaloy, Tashkent, Kaba, these kind of open water, Kiev, these open water ships, is their detection tends to be relatively high and you can't get close to torps because you just get out detected by so much. This, however, is something you can go to caps early. And as you see, the CV right here, just keep a note of that. The CV, I don't know you, but you're a destroyer, so you must die. Let's see who gets the last laugh here. That's one thing that these French DDs are extremely good at, is getting to where the CVs are and then being able to dodge enough attacks to get the kill. But I don't want to spoil anything. However, though, you can get close enough. So even if this Fletcher popped out, and I tried to 200 IQ this a little bit, it didn't quite work. But even at something like a Henry, I'm not too scared to engage a little bit. Because as you see, I'm starting to get a little bit of range, and I'm going to start working on that. Also starting to juke these planes if I can, because if a plane is going to try to get me, it's going to be, there's only so much time. Any DD is going to survive, full A or not. But trying to get this Fletcher to roll out, that's what I was trying to do, those 8-kilometer torps. As you saw, it was a tad, he was a tad farther back than my 8K. I was hoping that maybe he would peek out. But here you see the CV coming for me, and so we'll try to get close to our friends. And that's the thing I love about these destroyers, is they are so incredibly fast. Obviously, it's just like the Kleber with the speed boost, because the speed boosts are the 20%. And goodbye. You can flex around the map extremely fast. With how games are going in high tiers, they're so one-sided and things happen so quick. You want stuff with speed. Speed is such a luxury right now, and I find it kind of funny that he threw away. So I just went to near Missouri, a DM, Hindenburg, and a Monty, and not a single plane went by. So thank you for those planes, and I appreciate you. But anyways, as I was saying, Speed is a luxury, and I've said that in the last few videos on anything that's fast. We've seen a lot of French with both the Kleber, the Mogador, as well as the Bayard, the Tier 8 Premium. Things with the ability to flex from point to point is amazing because games in high tiers go so fast. And oh, what did we just find there? A Lexington. Now, wasn't I the one that was supposed to die? Well, guess what? I got speed boost. It's just coming off cooldown, as you see. Uh-oh. And he's heading south still. So we're going to push right through this cap, help get this cap, help take out this Balti, and then, as you see in this top corner, everything else is rotating this way. That's what we like to see. Now, there are many situations where, you know, lemming trains do happen, especially in this game right now. As I say, Teehee, see you soon, CB, in chat. Lemming trains happen. So what has actually happened a lot with these French DDs is 50 knots is no joke. You can get around so fast on teams, you know, especially if something isn't controlling a 1 or 2 line. You can get around so quick and get to the back line and cause a havoc, a mayhem, if you will, with everything else. So I got a little lucky with this Baltimore. He didn't end up popping his radar, or if he did pop it at the wrong time, but he's so focused on this. And you'll see what kind of these French DDs have burst. It's crazy burst. That reload booster, kind of the French flavor, is really nice, known as having speed and the burst ability. If one thing I noticed with these ships too is you are looking for Royal Navy destroyers. I was shooting at a Minotaur that was about 13 kilometers, 12 kilometers, and just getting citadels every salvo. These 139mm shells are nothing to laugh at. They're extremely good. So even if I see a Baltimore at 13k or 15k or 16k, I don't really worry about it too much. And that's something that I feel like might need to be balanced a little bit, because you're not scared of much. I mean, obviously there was a situation too where I went against I think it was against a Gearing, or no, it was against a Fletcher in the same ship. Against the Fletcher, he was full life, I was at 6k, and we almost killed him. We almost killed him because you can just absolutely rip 3-4k salvos, and obviously we have 75 knot torps. Good luck avoiding those at 3 kilometers. That's the ability this ship has to just punish, just absolutely punish. And I mean, good luck to a CB at 10 kilometers against this ship. Now, fire chance, obviously he hit me pretty hard there, but we will keep working and keep shooting down planes. Most of the planes we're going to shoot down are obviously going to be something that I've already dropped, so you're not going to be clearing the skies out. Again, we did try a full AA build on this to maybe troll a little bit. Did not work, but just look at the alpha damage we're getting on this, and obviously going to be wrecking some fire chance. But Daunt Square obviously going to cause us a little bit of problems here, but 3,600 on an HE salvo. These 139 guns are really, really good. Really, really good. Also, if you kind of sail in a straight line, imagine how hard it is to drop on something going 50 knots. How do you drop on something going 50 knots? I probably could have got around these torps if I just would have sailed straight. But yeah. What did the CV say again? Yeah. Anyways, GG, man. Let me know how poor it is. But he must die. No, I will get the last left. This is what I'm talking about right here. This ship, this line, this playstyle doesn't seem to really have much of a counter right now. There aren't really any destroyers that are going to beat this thing 1v1 because of the burst ability, and there aren't many cruisers that are going to consistently hit it at range. You will see a long, derpy fight here against me and this Donskoy, because I think I had just played a bunch of games in the Russian Tier 10 work in progress ship, and as you see right here, I'm just going to go around your torps, man. I don't have to worry about them, so good luck, have fun. I'm going almost 50 knots, even when I'm adding in some turns. But consistent damage on this, and this is what you're going to be doing a lot when you're playing this DD. You are going to be not really contesting caps, but just being the nightmare to a team. You know, getting multiple ships focusing on you, getting on the back line, flanking. And I gotta say, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be, we're all inner trolls. It's a lot of fun to be a big pain in the ass for an entire group of teams. Now, one of the things I did notice a lot too is you will get a lot of people focusing on you. Obviously, it's a little heightened right now because it is something that shoot the new ship, shoot the CC, you know, that's always something that is part of the game. But when these French destroyers get in, I don't know what's really going to go, like, I don't even know what you kind of get to go hunt that DD down. Besides maybe pushing them to like the 1 or 2 line, I'm not really sure what's going to counter this with the current spot. So I think we'll probably see some nerfs both with the Kleber as well as this ship. Now I was pretty tough on this ship originally, with both the no smoke as well as having, you know, there's really kind of not a way. There's not a heal. There's not a smoke. There's been people calling for buffs to this ship, like it needs a heal. But man, right now, you're not really scared of anything. You're so fast. There's not really anything that does what you do better. And you just have the ability to kind of cause... I'm going against the cruiser. I am not scared of the cruiser. I'm rushing cruisers. I'm not scared of them. I'm rushing battleships. I'm not really scared of them. You know, I'm trying to hunt destroyers that maybe out-detect me by almost a kilometer. I'm not scared of them. That to me seems to be a little overpowered, because a ship that doesn't have much fear is probably a tad too strong. And I don't really... I mean, obviously, if I round a corner in a Des Moines there, that's pretty shitty, but at least I have torps. I can probably kill him. If you get surprised with this ship, at least you have 75 knot torps. You have this oh shit button that's going to bail you out from a lot of situations. But one of the things that's going to make situations that no other line would is that Y key I just hit right there. And as you see, we're losing, we're down caps, we are going to get this battleship kill, but we're going to lose our DM because he decided to push straight through the middle when they have like 4 battleships left. But even with 3,300 life, I'm not worried. I'm going to keep shooting. I need to keep doing damage. You need to kind of risk it. And one thing you'll see a lot too with the speed of these ships and even shooting at them is you'll see people that will just stop firing. Like you'll see this Monty push up or actually put a salvo on me, and all right, maybe I'll just keep rolling, or maybe I'll just turn a little bit because it's nowhere near where they were going to aim. I'm just going to start lighting fires on you. There's nothing you can really do. So you will see, though, we are getting a mix of full pens and non-pens. Still trying to figure out kind of the best way. The 139 makes me feel like I want to aim towards the upper armor belt a tad more for that full pen. Superstructure is most likely the safest way. But you will see the ability to do some AP damage in this. And the main thing is the AP on this ship is very, very good. Very good. Now, we were obviously shooting against destroyers to test it out, and it wasn't really worth it then. We see ships like the Royal Navy destroyers. That AP tends to do extremely good against DDs because it's the lower caliber. These 139s just overpen, and it's not really worth it. However, with the 139s, I mean, obviously shooting 8 of them against a destroyer, yeah, you're going to be ripping them for 3, 4, potentially 5k a salvo. You burst that down, 4, 5k every 3 seconds. You're not going to lose a fight against basically anything. But right now, we are heading 50 knots, and then we need to start getting these caps back because they still have a DD, but we're going to get that. They have a rune that's pushing through south, but they have lots of tonnage left. And as you see, I'm switching to AP right now. We have 3 kills already. We shot down some planes. We killed the CV that threatened to kill us at the start of the game, so that's always good. And we have a base cap. But this is a situation that no other ship could have got into. And what I'm talking about is no other DD would have been this fast. Now, we threw him out just in case, but you're going to see this burst damage that this ship can do. 3,500. Almost 2,000. So we're at about, what, 7k. There's another 3k. There's another 3k. You kind of get my point, right? Going against, and he was even not really giving me the best broadside that game. We were shooting at a Yamato at one point, and we were chunking the Yamato for 4, 5, 6k a salvo with AP in this thing. Like, what? What? That's so much damage from a DD. So much damage from a DD. The AP is on these 139s is insane. Against cruisers, you're going to get citadels. Against battleships, you're getting high salvos of lots of damage. And On top of that, you have the ability to go and get those broadsides because you're so fast. You're 45 plus knots almost consistently. Also, I do recommend, if you haven't, maybe pick up one of those speed boost, and we actually lost that thing, but the Fletcher ended up getting the kill. So here's the swing, but we're up ships still. At least we have that. We have some time, and hey, we have a French destroyer. So that means that I am going to have the time in 6 minutes to go through A, to go through B, and then actually stop C-cap. No other DD could do that. No other DD could do that. And all of this as I'm pumping out damage with my guns because I'm so fast. I don't care about taking damage because good luck, have fun, try to hit me. And of course, he pops that. Now, this is one thing I have kind of fought against is, as you see, I'm out of speed boost. I'm out of reload boosters. Superintendent, obviously, with anything with the reload booster alone, obviously the speed boost is just a luxury, but the reload booster is actually quite nice. Grafts up and gets the rune, and so it's us against two basically full life or I guess half-life battleships. I think both of them have survivability expert. I don't know, that might be the GK without, but at least the Yamato does, so not really that much to worry about, maybe. But anyways, as I say, I maybe would pick up Superintendent in this. I'm just liking the Demo Expert, but most of the game I'm using all of these cooldowns, so adding one more would be pretty nice. Now, I don't know if the 2% more fire chance is worth it. You tend to shoot a lot of shells, so that could be a lot of damage, but is the reload booster kind of worth it? Right there, that GK basically fired a salvo, or repaired the one fire instantly. Could I have maybe burned him down a little bit more? Could I have saved our battleship a little bit faster because, you know, or saved him on some damage with reload booster? I'm not sure. Could have maybe, I don't know, gotten into positions earlier. Like, I think he just fired a salvo on our Missouri. Could I have maybe saved some damage on this? I'm not sure. Or would just the extra 2% fire be worth it in the end? I think we're going to just keep shooting HE at this Yamato because he stays at kind of like a goofy line, but the AP on this ship is so good. It's weird that it's the one DD line, and I've kind of had this theory of, I think because of the firing and smoke, I think you could kill a Minotaur or a Neptune, which is maybe one of the scariest ships you can see in a DD. You could potentially kill a Minotaur or a Neptune in its smoke because of the firing penalty faster than it could even return damage. I kind of maybe want to test this. There was a situation we could have tested this. We play all these ships live on stream, twitch.tv/mejash, and I had one situation I thought about doing it, but I focused on getting the win and blah blah blah, playing boring Jash. But I think you could just burn them down so fast with the reload booster and everything like that. I need to get a situation, so I'll report back on that. Again, right here, maybe a reload booster would kind of help, but our Missouri is actually angling well, and we all know that the Yamato has a giant fat cheek that we are going to do this. But one thing, 3 minutes from we were on C3, in 3 minutes, we have gone through A cap, capped A cap, halfway through capping B cap, and we are gonna be in C cap. We can at least stop those points. Obviously, this Yamato is going down 2 minutes and 40 some seconds. We can probably burn through 40 some K life, just with even just probably me doing damage to him. We have our graph burn him down too, or flooding him out. So, and I think our Missouri is about to get a decent shot here, but no other DD can do this. Maybe the Kaba, but the Kaba couldn't have done the spots we were in. Shima, same thing. Wouldn't have been able to pump out all this damage throughout. Maybe could have done some more damage there. And as you see, the Missouri takes him down. But these French DDs, they do things that no other ships can. And I'm not scared of anything when I'm playing them. I'm having fun playing them. They are lots of fun, so look forward to that. But I just think they're too strong right now. Not really having a natural predator other than the predator that everybody has, which is CVs, basically means it doesn't really have a predator. you just have free range, and I don't really see much counter to them, and they're a tad too strong in my opinion. However, though, the tier 9, much like the tier 10, extremely strong, extremely fast, and extremely fun. So that is my verdict. Again, all these ships are work in progress, so stats are subject to change, and I assume we will. Again, we play all these on live on Twitch. Come check us out, twitch.tv/mejash. Come check us out. Check out the work in progress ships, and come hang out there. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.